Now we can see the human heart structure in detail. As I told you, the human heart is triangular in shape and it bends towards the left. The heart consists of 4 chambers. These are the 4 chambers. So, how many chambers? 4 chambers. And upper 2 chambers, lower 2 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are wide and the lower 2 chambers are narrow. These upper wide 2 chambers are known as atria. Atria is the upper chamber and 2 lower narrow chambers are known as ventricles. Ventricles, which is lower. And here these 2 atria always receive blood to the heart. Atria receive blood. Receive blood to the heart. And the lower 2 ventricles always transport blood from the heart. Ventricle always transport blood from the heart. See, this single one is atrium, singular atrium, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Once more, the upper 2 atria always receive blood to the heart and the lower 2 ventricles always transport blood from the heart. And now we can see which are the 2 sides. That means which is the right side and which is the left side of the heart. How can we determine the sides? See, when you face towards the diagram of a heart, your left hand side is the right side of the heart and your right hand side is the left side of the diagram. Is it clear? So which is the right side of the heart then? This is the right side. Is it clear? Why this is the right side? My left side is the right side of the heart. See, right atrium. And this is the right ventricle. See, when you face to the diagram, this is the right hand side. So, this is the left side of the heart. Left atrium and left ventricle. Is it clear about the right side and left side? Okay. And now we can see the right side or right chambers of the heart always carry deoxygenated blood. The right side always carry deoxygenated blood. And the left chambers such as left atrium and left ventricle always carry oxygenated blood. So we can say the left side always carry oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood means the blood which contains oxygen. See, once more, the right atrium and right ventricle always carry deoxygenated blood. That means the right chambers of the heart always carry deoxygenated blood and the left chambers of the heart always carry oxygenated blood. Now you can see there is a partition between right and left side of the heart. Right chambers are separated from the left chambers by a septum. And the septum here, this is a part of the septum which separate a right atria and left atrium. The right atrium and left atrium are separated by the part of the septum and which is known as interatricular septum. Interatricular septum. So So this is a part of the septum which separate the atria. That means the right atrium and left atrium are separated by the interatricular wall. Now we can see the right ventricle and left ventricle are also separated from each other by the part of the septum which is known as interventricular septum. Interventricular septum. So these two septa separate the right and left chambers of the heart. And now we can see the next points, that is, see, there is a valve. You can see a valve over here and here also. The right atrium separates from right ventricle by a valve. You can see a valve is here. And this valve which separates a right atrium and left atrium is known as tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. So the tricuspid valve separates the right atrium and right ventricle. Likewise, another valve is here in the left side that separates left atrium and left ventricle. So this valve is known as bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve. So the bicuspid valve separates left atrium and left ventricle. And that's all about the structure. Now let's see once more. See, the human heart consists of 4 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are known as atria, which is wide, and the lower 2 chambers are ventricles, which are narrow. And the atria, both right atrium and left atrium, always receive blood to the heart. But the 2 ventricles, such as the right ventricle and left ventricle, always transport blood from the heart. And there is a partition or septum which separate the right and left chambers. The right atrium separate from left atrium by the part of the septum which is interatricular septum. And the part of the septum which separate right ventricle and left ventricle from each other, that is interventricular septum. And a valve is present in between the right atrium and right ventricle, and that valve is known as tricuspid valve. So the right side tricuspid valve you can write here. The right side valve is tricuspid and bicuspid is the left side valve. So the left atrium and left ventricle are separate from each other by a valve which is known as bicuspid valve. Now you can see the picture.